Now, every country in the world is unique for having their own culture. This is seen in music, food, and most importantly, cars. So in this video, I'll be showing you how different countries modify their cars. Anyways, like this video and subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into this. Now, the UK has an interesting car scene. I mean, we have the super rich people with the supercars and the hypercars, and then you have people with luxury cars, classics, sports cars, but we're not interested in that. What we're interested in is the 17-year-olds. Okay, pause for a second there, that sounds a bit wrong. What I mean is the 17-year-olds who just got their new driver's license, because in the UK you need to be 17 to learn how to drive. Anyways, for this example, we're going to be using the Mark 8 Ford Fiesta ST, which you'd be very lucky to own as your first car in the UK. I mean, genuinely, this is a flex. Or at least when I got my first car. Anyway, we got the car. Now, what engine should we do to this car? Well, of course, we have to install a ram air cold intake, so we get those very nice induction sounds. Yeah. Also, we need to install a full straight pipe so you can wake up the neighbors when you're going to those 3 AM Tesco car meets. Now let's cut the springs with your dad's Bosch lawnmower. Hey, shout out to you if you get that reference. Now for the visuals, of course, we're gonna have to go with maxed in design, which is in Forza Horizon 6, of course, because you can't afford a body kit, but 100 quid for a piece of plastic you can stick on the front of your car, of course, mate. Budget savings, you know. This is like the Lidl of car mods. Now for the wheels, we can, if you want to, paint them black if you're on a budget, but we're not on a budget, so let's put on these 1552 wheels. Oh yeah. Now let's go to the spacers and let's poke them out as much as we can, even if they come out of the arches, which is technically illegal in the UK, which I find weird. I don't care. We're gonna bring them out. Look at that. And now let's wrap this car in the cheapest vinyl we can find. Let's make it Tiffany blue. Yeah, lots of people in the UK love this color. I don't know why. Now that we got our nice wheels, do we need to paint them? Well, of course we do. We're gonna paint them black because we have no taste. Also, let's paint the brake calipers Tiffany blue as well. Let's wrap the door mirrors in fake carbon fiber. Oh yeah, let's make it the satin one so it looks even more fake. Now on the front of the car, let's put a windshield banner. Let's make it a circle and let's make it Tiffany blue. And look at that. That's why we went with a circle, so it lines up very nicely with the door, yeah. Now let's put your Instagram handle on the side of the car so that Fezza boy 67. Yeah, because that's trendy. And let's make the sticker Tiffany blue. Yeah, come on. And on the back of the car, let's put on a... Okay, surely they'll have this. Yeah. Because a modified Fiesta without window stickers is kind of like a B58 without a Burble tune. Oh, speaking of which, install a Burble tune onto your car so you can be as antisocial as you can be. Oh yeah. Oh man, your neighbors are gonna love you. Now put some fake vents on your bonnet. Also put on a fake sunroof because, I don't know why, but this is some weird trend in the car scene in the UK. Like genuinely, people put fake sunroofs on their cars. I don't know why they do that. I don't know what it achieves, but yeah. And you are done. You've modified your car like an average 17-year-old. Who has a lot of money, because a Ford Fiesta ST at 17 is crazy. With 1552 wheels, are you dumb? Now, Italy is known for their incredible car culture. They have supercars, classics, and they put so much passion behind these cars. But how do you modify a car like an Italian? Well, in this example, I'm going to be using an Abarth 595 Assise. Now, how do you perfect an already perfect car like this? Well, there's one way to do that, and it's by adding white walls, yeah. And you are done. Because these white walls, they say, look at me, here I am, love me. Yeah, this is getting weird now. Australia! Oh no, sorry, it's upside down. Let me zoom out, rotate 180 degrees, and then fit it back onto the screen. Yeah! Anyways, Australia, it's home to kangaroos, Tim Tams, and the most beloved man of all time, Ange Postecoglou. It also has a very unique car scene which I'll be showing you how to fit into. So for this example, I'm going to be using a Plymouth Barracuda Formula S. Oh yeah. I mean, I was meant to be using a Holden Torana for this example, but I ain't paying 500 grand for this. I mean, come on, mate. What the f are these car prices for? Anyways, once you got your car, check out the engine, and is that a carburetor? Come on, we can't be having that. But we're gonna go to the engine and swap in a 6.2 litre V8 motor from, it's probably some American motor, of course it is. Anyways, let's go to the engine and let's make sure it whines like crazy. So Okay, it winds a little bit here, but what about this? Yeah, that one's way better. And make sure it chops at idle. I mean, it's kind of, you know, you can kind of hear it, but what about this? Oh yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Now lower the car all the way and then go to the tuning and raise the front of the suspension. Now for the wheels, they're going to be mismatched, so make sure you have some really flashy wheels at the front, like these. Yeah, now let's make sure those wheels are as big as possible. So yeah, 20 inch. I know it looks big, but this is what they do there. Now for the rear, we're going to have to go with some deep dish wheels. So maybe these. Yeah, those are very deep dish, and make sure those are the same size as the front wheels. Make the rear tires as wide as possible. Look at that. Also make sure the front wheels are poking out as much as possible, and the rear wheels, let's make sure they're tucked. Now the most important part of this car, go to the bonnet and install a blower. Look at that. Yeah. Now to paint the car, paint it any color you want, but make sure it's really flashy. So I'm gonna go with this sort of green color to pay homage to that crazy Australian guy that wears that green balaclava.
Are you Falcon?
Now for the wheels, make sure they are color matched to the body of the car. And last but not least, put a windshield banner that says anything you want. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, mate, don't say that.
Oh, and also I forgot to do this, go to the bumpers and just remove the bumpers so it looks as race car as possible. Anyways, on the rear window, make sure to put on an Australian flag, mate. I'm really sorry for my Australian accent, that was awful, but make sure it's big as possible. Come on, oh mate, you can't say that. Anyways, also put on a B plate on the back of your car, because basically every single car in Australia has one of these. When I went there, basically all of the cars had these, and you are done. You've modified your car like an Aussie, so you can shred your tires at car shows. But make sure you don't drive these in the streets of Australia, because Australian cops don't mess around with modified cars, man. They are ruthless. I mean, apparently it's illegal in Australia to connect your phone to your car and listen to music, which I don't understand why that's illegal. It's weird, man. Now, Germany is known for their cars. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson famously said that it's the only country in the world that knows how to make a car right. So what car will we be using for this example? Well, you already know. The Renault Megane RS. Yeah, you'll see why. Now first of all, let's max out the engine all the way, but leave the exhaust stock, because you know, you don't want to get banned. And let's not put anti-lag on our cars, because that would make our car deafening. And now let's go to the suspension and let's turn it into race suspension. Let's put on some race brakes. Let's get rid of some weight from the car as well, and let's add in a bit of a roll cage for rigidity. Yeah. Now let's install some lightweight racing wheels like these RPF ones. Let's put on some racing slicks. Yeah. Let's also bring the wheels out as far out as we can, because you know, we want some extra grip, because I think that's how that works, isn't it? Like if your wheels are out more, then you get more grip. I don't know. Now on the front of the car, let's put on this splitter with the tow hook, just in case we end up in a ditch. And for the wing, is that adjustable? Yes it is, so let's install that. And last but not least, put this sticker on the back of your car. Yeah. And just like that, you created the most feared car in Germany. On the Nürburgring, oh yeah. Now seeing as most of my audience is from the States, I had to include America in this video. Now to modify a car like an American, you need something big, with a big engine, with big wheels, with big tires for big people, with big loads that you want to carry. So you know, get yourself a Ford F450 DRW Platinum Super Duty. Anyways, here's the car, or the truck, and there's a little bit of a problem. I mean, you know, it's a big truck, but it could be bigger. Okay, I've given it a lift kit. Okay, it's definitely not a different car. I've just given this car a lift kit. Okay, yeah, now this is a little bit bigger. This is the right size. Except now there's another problem. The tires, they just seem too small. So let's go to the tires and let's make them as big as possible. Yeah, look at that. Now that seems a lot. Look at that, the arm. Oh my day, look at that. It's twerking, man. Oh my god, it's jumping. Oh, that's sick. I'm getting a bit distracted. Okay, that's so cool. Anyways, for the engine mods, let's listen to the exhaust. Okay, you know, it's kind of loud, but it could be louder. So let's install a race exhaust. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Also for the turbo, let's install a f***ing hell. 1000 horsepower from a turbo. Oh yes. Okay, now for the wheels, let's install the blingiest wheels we can find. Anyways, now let's go to the back of the car in the truck bed and let's install a canopy so you can put your political agenda, because in America, your life revolves around your political beliefs. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, now let's put a bunch of American flags on the side of a truck on the canopy, and then make sure to mirror it to the other side and make sure that the stars are going forward, because that sort of symbolizes the American troops advancing into battle rather than retreating and losing. Because American losing, pff, you know they don't lose. Oh, what's that doing there? Also, let's just put a massive American flag on the front of the truck. Let's make the wheels red, white and blue as well. Let's paint the brake caliper. Okay, it doesn't have any brake calipers apparently. And just like that, you modified your car like an American. Yeah, hell yeah, brother. Welcome to the Cletus McFarlane Show. Hell yeah. Yeah, I probably lost all of my American audience after that skit. Now, it would be criminal not to have Japan in a video about how countries modify their cars in a game that's set in Japan. So for this example, I'm going to be using the Toyota Chaser 2.5 Tourer V, also known as a JZX100, I think. I don't really know. Now, a green Toyota Chaser is kind of like a red Subaru. It's just wrong. Unless you're Baby Driver. Anyways, there's only one color a Toyota Chaser can be, and you know what that color is: white. Yeah. Look, there's 3 different shades of white for this car. That's how you know white is the only color that's meant for this car. Now, to modify this car, let's go to the suspension and put some drift suspension, come on, that I've already put on because I may have built this car already. Race brakes, come on. Let's gut out the interior. Yeah. And now should we put a roll cage in this car? Yes, we shall. So what wheel should we put on this car? Let's keep the rear wheel stock. And let's change the front ones to... Wait for it. Yeah, look at these TE37s. Come on. Yeah, now let's make these a little bit bigger to 18 inches. And let's make them poke out as much as we can. Look at that. And for the exhaust, how does it sound? You know, I kind of like the sound of that. Now for the bumpers, let's turn it into maybe these ones. For the rear bumper... okay, that one goes to the side a bit, so that's cool. For the rear wing, let's get rid of that wing. For the bonnet, oh, we can change the grille. Let's put on this one. And for the side skirts, let's put on this one. Now for the windows, let's tint them blue, because that's a really common thing I see in Japan, like them tinting their windows blue. I don't know why they do that, but they do. Also, front wheels, let's paint them white, because then they can have a white on white car. Also, front bonnet, let's make that white as well, but let's make it matte so it looks a little bit sun damaged. Oh, look at that attention to detail, man. Now on the back of the car, let's put on these sort of stickers. Look at that. On the front of the car, let's put on this. I don't know what it says in Japanese. It might say something rude, I don't know, but let's just put that on so it looks kind of JDM. Okay, never mind, I changed it for that, and now I'm gonna put that thing on the back of the car. I don't know what it says. I'm sorry if it says something rude. Now let's put on this race number on the side of the car, which I don't know what that's for. Like, I guess that's like some sort of Ebisu thing, maybe some sort of racing. I don't know. Let's put this picture of an anime girl on the side of the car, which I don't know the symbolism of this. Is this like Powerpuff Girls of Japan or so? I don't know. This one, it looks like it's looking at the rear tire, so it's like, oh no, why are you shredding me? And last but not least, let's change the color of the rear bumper so it looks like it's been replaced by another Chaser's rear bumper. And just like that, you're done. You created a car that you'd find at the Ebisu circuit in Japan as a drift rental car. Now you might think this is a Jeep Wrangler, and you'll be right, but in the case of this video, this is a Mahindra Thar. Which is basically the Indian knockoff version of the Jeep Wrangler, but just pretend it's Indian, okay? Anyways, how do you modify a car like you're from India? Well, first of all, let's go to the wheels and install the flashiest wheels you can find. Like, yeah, let's go for these ones. Anyways, once you got your wheels, make sure they're as big as they can be. Look at that, 21. Yeah, funny number. Now, what about the tire profile? Should we make those tires big? No, let's keep those low profile. Now, for the front bumper, of course, we're gonna have to install a bull bar. Look at that. For the rear bumper, yeah, might as well do that. For the wing, let's not do that. For the side skirts, yeah, let's do that. For the bonnet, which one shall we go for? None of them. Now, what engine mod should we do to this car? Nothing, yeah. Anyways, go to the wheels and make sure they're sort of color matched with the body of the car, so yeah. Yeah, look at that. I don't know why red's all the way down there, but yeah, look at that. Let's also tint the windows black because we need that for the sun in India. Now in the front of the car, we're gonna install a banner with something really cringy written on it. Yeah. If you ever been to India, you just see buses with like the most random English words written on the front of it like this. Also, I wonder what sort of stickers would come up if I type India. Okay, yeah, flags, okay. Okay, let's not do that. I'm surprised that's on here. You know what? Let's just put some massive India flag on the back of the car like this. Okay, let's put Vijay on the side. Oh, this is so weird. I'm not Indian, I'm Sri Lankan, but I watched a lot of Indian films growing up. And let's put this cricket logo on the other side. I don't know what this is a logo for, but yeah. And last but not least, we need to find the weirdest horn we can find. So, no. Perfect. And you're done. You've modified your Jeep Rat Mahindra Thar like you're from India. Yeah. Now Switzerland have some of the richest people in the world, so of course they're going to be driving some of the nicest cars like this BMW M5. But how do you modify a car like a Swiss person? Well, let me show you. First of all, let's install some of the most expensive wheels we can find. You know, go-to brands that can be HREs, Vossen, Vorsteiner. But for this example, I'm going to be choosing the HRE P103s. Make sure to make the wheels a little bit bigger, 21 inches, that's nice. Anyways, next we're gonna be lowering our car all the way, look at that. And seeing as this car has AC Schnitzer parts, come on, it would be rude not to put that on. But the AC Schnitzer rear bumper gets rid of the chrome exhaust tip, so we're gonna stick with the stock bumper. But we will put on this AC Schnitzer rear spoiler. Now to paint the car, you can keep the stock paint if you want to, but you know, I want to change things up a bit, so let's go to the paint, and I'm gonna go for... yeah, look at that color. That is a very Swiss Spec sort of color. Now let's tint the windows because I don't want to see that red sort of bit inside. Okay, now the most important part of the car is the trim. We need to make all of the trim chrome. Look at that, and it's very nice that this BMW M5 has this option to do this. Also for the wheels, I feel like chrome is going to look a little bit too crazy, so let's go with aluminium semi-gloss. Look at that, not aluminum, aluminium. Okay, that's how you say it, Americans. And then look how clean that looks, and then compare it to it with black trim. It just looks so depressing, man, with black trim. But with chrome trim, oh my days, look at that bling. And you are done. Just like that, you created your very own Swiss Spec car. I love this Swiss Spec trend, man. It looks so clean, man. Look at it.